TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Zak, your State Farm Insurance agent in DeKalb. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Zak and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Don't forget Kids Eat for Free on Thursday. For delivery or pickup, go to pizzavilla.com or call 815-758-8116. Elder Care Services of DeKalb. Safe, secure, and supported, helping you stay in home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org. My Insurance Guy in Sycamore covers Medicare to auto care and everything in between. Stop by at 204 South Main Street in Sycamore. Call 815-899-0950 or online at myinsuranceguy.com. Welcome into TD Ryan Unleashed, new podcast number 44. Honored and privileged to have our folks. We're talking today about America 250 DeKalb, the local commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. The DeKalb City Council on January 26th approved two public arts projects to be incorporated in the community celebration of the nation's founding. The new art brick will place the previous artwork on Lincoln Highway historical mural at that site. The second artwork, we'll tell you about that in just a moment, includes 15 colorfully brushed aluminum luminaries suspended in downtown. And here to talk about it, we have Elisa Boughner is joining us. Elisa is the owner and sole artist at the Gallery Artifact Studio in DeKalb. A moving force within the Chicago art community as she worked with Chicago Artists Coalition, one-of-a-kind show at Merchandise Mart, Mary Bell Gallery, and the Union League Club to help raise more money for arts in Chicago. Her original oil paintings and her work in gathering donations for many worthy organizations throughout the art world and has earned many accolades. Her one-woman show has been seen nationally and internationally. She has artists in Saks Fifth Avenue, Rush University Medical Center, Northwest Plastic Surgery, just to name a few, plus countless private collectors in the United States and abroad. Her ability to combine bright, vibrant colors with her subject matter, whether it's still life with flowers or portrait landscape, has garnered her praise in art critics in Chicago, New York, and internationally. She also offers internships to promoting artists and mentor artists in need. She has a Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree in printmaking, as well as a Master's of Fine Arts in drawing and painting from Northern Illinois University. Welcome, Elisa.
Well, thank you.
Are you blushing yet?
Very well.
Also joining us is Scott Zak. Scott is known for his brilliant paint by numbers portrait that he did in sixth grade, the dog sniffing flowers, still prominently on display in his mother's refrigerator. Scott, welcome.
Yeah, so he did not agree with my plan to blow that up to two-story height and put it on the side of the But
welcome.
I'm looking for grant funding.
Welcome both. Obviously, you're both qualified to be here and be on the Art Council. I teased you, Scott. Of course, Scott Zak, my former radio partner. Did you dabble in art? Did you a little plaster Paris phase in the eighth grade, or what did you do?
No, I was awful at art. I remember distinctly trying to draw, like we were watching the movie West Side Story, and I tried to draw like people dancing, and like it was a body with one hand here, and I just remember thinking, I can't do this.
You gave it a shot, though. You gave it a shot, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid drawing, and then all my stuff, and then we had art class in junior high, and it was all awful. I appreciate art, but no, I'm not good at art.
Elisa, tell us about that. Now, you're fascinating life. You grew up in Mexico, would I have that right? Or you spent time growing up in Mexico? Get right on top of that mic if you can.
I'm sorry.
Get right on top of that mic
Oh,
if you can.
okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Everybody's always afraid.
Well, my father was transferred from Chicagoland area to Mexico City when I was 4 years old. And so I grew up in Mexico City from 4 to 12. And then my parents wanted to move back to Chicago. So we moved back when I was 12. And
So you were fluent in both languages then? At that
yes.
Because I know.
Also?
I am, although I have lost some of it just because I don't speak it.
Yeah.
But eventually, if I speak it with people, eventually I pick it back up. So
And what about the art aspect? Where did that come in? Were you a young child? Were you creative as a young child?
I loved art, but I was not good at it. But I loved it.
Oh, really?
I loved the aspect of thinking of creating things. But I was definitely not a stellar star in terms of art student. I just had the passion to do it.
So had Scott stuck with it, his life might have been different as well. Huh?
Absolutely.
Well, we were talking about leaders the other day, whether they're born or not. What about artists? Can an artist become, or you either have that in your feelings? Is it something inside of you, or can any of us bring out
I
or
think-
artistic abilities?
I think everyone is an artist at heart, like when they're little. I think it just, you kind of grow out of it. There's so many people that I've met that come to me and say, oh, I used to do stuff, but then, life takes over and they just drop it until they retire, and all of a sudden they become totally entrenched in doing art again. But I think everyone has a need to create things. It's just, hard to do when you're trying to make a living, I guess.
Right, exactly. Very good. Well, let's talk about from the Daily Chronicle article on February 1st. Meet one of the DeKalb artists behind the city's America's 250 Art Installation Project, and that, of course, is you. Now, you've owned your studio in downtown DeKalb for just about a year now, right? Tell us about that, Artifacts, and how's that been going?
That's been great. I mean, when we first moved to back to DeKalb, I went to school here, but we moved a couple years ago to DeKalb, and we actually moved here with the intention of making our home a live workspace. So we'd live there, and I'd have my studio there. But in walking to downtown, going through the walkway there, I just had this really great vibe, and that building right there went up for sale, and everything fell into place, and I just had to.
We should point out we're talking about that walkway between the Buer Plaza and downtown, and you're right on the corner where you come up from that sidewalk there.
Exactly. Yes.
And you kind of looked at it as kind of this something that needs a little something, huh?
Absolutely. And they had lights down that corridor when we first moved here, and I loved that feeling it gave you walking into the city, into downtown, that really atmosphere that just makes you, I don't know, it's just something, really cool.
And Scott, did you guys look at because I know, at least in the article, you mentioned other towns and cities that have art that want to draw people there. Was that an intention from DeKalb to do that, to create something that would actually bring people, like the mural that we have on the other?
Yeah, with everything with the downtown revitalization that the mayor's led and the city leadership has led, I guess it's working, because that's exactly what all this stuff is supposed to do, both with potential businesses and with visitors and people who live here. As you're supposed to, as she did, you're supposed to walk into it and go, wow, this is a happening place and I want to be part of it. So that's a success story in the public art. And so I guess it's a snowball. So
Absolutely.
so
I think,
she,
yeah.
she liked what had been done to the downtown previously and attracted to it. And now she will add to the snowball, and hopefully other people will, whether if they come and see our art installation and go, oh, DeKalb's a cool place. After we have dinner here, let's come back and let's make it our spot. So, yeah, I guess, that's how it's supposed to work.
I love it. Yeah. Now, you're part of the America 250 DeKalb Committee, which started, you guys started back in January, or did you start sooner than that?
We actually started, we got a real early start on it. As soon as people started to talk about America 250, Mayor Barnes jumped right on it and said, this is something the city should do. So we actually held our first meeting way back on September 11th. And we held it purposely on September 11th because one of the things that he wants this to be, and our community committee wants it to be, is to be a unifying moment, much like the bicentennial was, where the community came together, but also we also had that moment right after the terrorist attacks where the whole country came together.
Right.
So as we were, I think it was in October, we were talking about, okay, how do we get this started? And we said, well, how about rather, August, I guess it would have been, like, okay, how do we get this started? And we said, well, what about if we hold this on September 11th as a way of kind of reminding people of that unity we used to have in the country, and hopefully re-inspiring that with this America 250 DeKalb. So
And you're quoted as saying we want this bigger than just fireworks and activities. What do you mean when you say that? And
just what I mentioned there.
Okay.
That, it's an invention in addition to going and say, oh yeah, and from what I'm hearing from the Park District, and the fireworks are going to be incredible this year. We were told at our last meeting that they're going to actually have some like prototype type fireworks like
Okay.
never before done, and they're giving it to us for free. So we're going to do all of the first things that come to your mind, big fireworks for the biggest 4th of July ever. But as far as it being something bigger than that, in addition to fireworks, we want it to be a unifying moment. The other, along with unity, the other moment, our other big theme is the Declaration of Independence. It's not just America's anniversary, it's the anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and the ideals in the Declaration of Independence that promise that we're all equal, that we still need to work on, but to remember what's in the Declaration of Independence and what work needs to be done and how it's, one of the greatest documents humans have ever created. So that's the other thing where we're trying to be bigger than that. And the other thing, bigger than fireworks, is Elisa's project and the mural and some other civic projects to build civic pride to have, after this is gone, after the fireworks fade, after events are over, Elisa's project will kind of be this lasting legacy of America 250. Where hopefully people will say, oh yeah, it was the 250th birthday of the country, and because of that, the city put up these lights and did this mural. So that's what we meant by, a little bigger than, just fireworks.
Well, Lisa, you'll probably find out that Scott is a little long-winded. We've learned that
no.
about him.
I love that.
No,
I'm
I'm kidding.
more of a quiet
I'm
person,
kidding.
so.
No, and we want to talk about some of those other things, including DeKalb Township is planning to plant 250 trees to mark the nation's 250th anniversary. But let's talk about your project, Elisa. So for folks that are familiar, again, there's a little pathway between the Buer Plaza and downtown. And what was there before? There's some lighting there before, or what was there?
It was just string lighting.
Was there string lighting? Okay.
Yeah, so this has been, so these civic projects aren't something we just said, oh, it's 250, we got to come up with something.
Right.
These have been things that our community commission, the Citizens Community Enhancement Commission, have been talking about for years. And so we've always thought there needed to be something else there. And we had a couple people come forward with the ideas, and in the meantime, the Public Works, Andy Rye, you've had him on your show before, had the genius idea of like, okay, well, we're figuring this out. Let's just put up some string lights. And everybody, including Elisa, was like, oh, we love the additional lighting. So we...
Is that how Elisa says?
Yeah, that's exactly what I love the lighting.
So this enhancement commission, which is residents, as soon as they heard that feedback, they said, all right, whatever we do, it's got to have lighting.
Okay.
So it was kind of this long goal to do something more there to finish it off, which we learned, and this goes back to the first Renew DeKalb. Justin Carlson helped build the Walkway, and it was always discussed from the very beginning that the city would return to the Walkway and do some more. So this has been talked about for decades.
Okay.
And a couple recently, it's been, all right, let's get on this. And then, so in the process, Andy put up the lights, Public Works put up the lights. And so it's both an artistic thing and then also a very utilitarian thing because it will increase the lighting.
Yeah, and the safety aspect too. You want to get into that as well. So let's at least you described this as 15 aluminum lanterns that would be illuminated nightly year-round to showcase different images of prairie cutout of metal. Tell us about that.
Well, I don't know. It's just what it says. It's I would.
But I don't
be
understand a prairie
designing-
cutout. What do you mean? So like a prairie?
Like, the flowers or the different leaves and stuff.
Okay.
And
So each one is different, like snowflakes. So each one will be different.
Yes.
Okay.
So there'd be different cutouts, and then they're formed to be cylinders, and then the lights would shine through it. So at night you'd see the cutout, and
So would they be projected against the wall then, like a shadow? No, they would just.
be hanging as lights
Okay.
down the.
Yeah, you'll get some of the light will. Her husband did a great mock-up of one of them, and it was right after it had rained, and you could see they put up. Was it made of paper?
It was made of paper. I cut out the stuff,
Okay.
and then he lit it so that we could hold it up and see the size that we thought would go well in that space. And he held it up and you could see the light, and it kind of like.
You can see it. You won't see the cutout. It's not like a projection.
Oh, it's not. Okay, see, that's what I was saying.
You'll see it will reflect off the walls. It goes on the bottom. So they're like, so really to get utilitarian, like it's a fancy coffee pot, like an old-fashioned tin coffee. You put a light in it, but then she
Laser.
Laser around it. Okay.
Yeah, and then she'll cut, designs into them, and then there are these great, brilliant colors, and that was great. One of the things, so we did the mural on the back of City Hall, and after that was done, Mayor Barnes said, okay, this is our benchmark, like, 'cause it's high quality, it's beautiful, and her project is perfect. I mean, it's going to be high quality, it's going to look.
And durable with all the weather that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we're going to be able to handle all the weather that's coming through.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I noticed why you picked the theme is very interesting because, DeKalb used to be all prairies, right? So you're
Yes.
just saying, let's get back to our roots here.
Yes, exactly.
That's a great idea. So you're looking to start, what, sometime in May? Is that right? What's that?
Well, we're going to get started making them, and they'll be done probably in 3 months, and then we'll decide when to install them.
Okay. And again, the very low cost for the city once they're up, right? It's just the lights.
Right, right.
Okay. That's fantastic. That's great. Now, the other project is the mural on the 7th Street there. I wanted to ask you about, because a lot of people when they posted this on Facebook, everybody and their brother said, why is there a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge in DeKalb? Scott, do you want to take that one? Explain why they...
I'm so glad you asked that. So just, the quick history, there used to be a small panel mural. It was panels mounted on wood. The wood eventually, I was about 15 years old, the wood rotted, and one night it fell and just got broke beyond repair. So we had to replace it. We originally came up with some little thing we were going to do real quick, and again, our community group said, no, let's do Lincoln Highway again. Let's make it an eastern entrance. Al Ferris from Industrial Artifacts, he was the one who mentioned, let's make this the east entrance to downtown. I always passed the small mural. I thought nobody even noticed it.
Oh, I did.
It was gone, and people were like, where did it go? I didn't know anybody noticed. So we said, we got to make it Lincoln Highway. So we came up with this design. So one, it had to be Lincoln Highway. Then we had an opportunity to get a grant to cover it, and that's the National Endowment of the Arts. And this year they're giving special considerations to projects that involve America 250.
Nice.
So we go, okay, so we got Lincoln Highway. That fits already by itself because it's a great...
I met some people over the weekend that didn't realize that Lincoln Highway was our first cross-country
When I came to the
highway.
radio station, I thought that was one of the most interesting things about DeKalb, that the first transcontinental road ran. I always thought when I first saw Lincoln Highway, I'm like, oh yeah, like Lincoln Elementary School.
Right.
Like every school just named stuff after Lincoln.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's this big, and so I thought there's this amazing thing. So the mural celebrates that it's the first transcontinental railroad. On the right side of the mural, you see Times Square where it begins, and then it ends in a park where you can see the Golden Gate Bridge. So the reason the Golden Gate Bridge is on there is to show that it goes, and the other mural did not, I think there might have been text that it was the first transcontinental railroad.
Right, but this,
one,
yeah.
and so I understand the Golden Gate Bridge isn't here, but I think Elisa will agree, like art is a chance to learn something, learn something, it exposes you to something. So the hope is that when people see the Golden Gate Bridge, they'll say, why would the Golden Gate Bridge be on
And
mural?
you already have people saying
Yeah.
that.
Yes, they're already...
And so it's a chance, so the mural becomes this chance to learn that, right here in DeKalb, we have a road that stretches from these two iconic places, and we have a spot along this iconic road that goes from Times Square to San Francisco, and it runs right through DeKalb. And that's why the Golden Gate.
well put there. Now, do you know who...
But we are going to add at least one more DeKalb element. That is just the proposal.
Oh, this is just a proposal. Okay.
Yeah, and so on the mural, and it's an iconic DeKalb thing, there used to be an arch over Route 38, over Lincoln Highway, that I imagine had to come down because of either semis or when they widened the road.
Yeah.
So we're going to work that into the design. So you'll literally see between the Golden Gate Bridge and between Times Square, you'll see DeKalb right in the middle of it.
And we should mention Christine Sandlin of Memphis is the one who's going to create the mural. Now, is it up to her to come up with this quote? Because it's so appropriate for our time of our country right now. Let us unite as one people throughout this land until we should once more stand up and declare that all men are created equal.
So to go back to how this had to, we wanted this to be about America 250. So one, it's the Lincoln Highway. The Lincoln Highway is named after Abraham Lincoln.
There you go.
A great American president, as we celebrate all things that are great about America. Abraham Lincoln used most heavily the Declaration of Independence in his arguments against slavery.
And sorry for that technical interruption there, Scott, explaining to us again why the Golden Gate Bridge is on it. Now, I noticed that they used a picture of Abraham Lincoln, the artist did, without the beard. I was just read an article about that, with Abe Lincoln with and without the beard. And do you know why she chose to go that route, or did...
I looked at that. I probably have looked at that design 1,000 times, and it never
Dawned on you? Like
he should have a beard. Like it never dawned on me. And really, this is not my decision. It's the community's decision. That's why we have the Enhancement Commission. Like they were the ones who picked this proposal. We opened it up. Across the country. We got local artists. One of them was Elisa, put her name in. And so We went to the local artists and said, we want to work on, and that's how we came with the pass-through. But the DeKalb residents, they picked that artist. And
Okay.
It was never in our discussions. We've talked about it for over a year. Nobody ever said like, oh, we should use an image of Abraham Lincoln with a beard. And somebody mentioned in the comments, and I think we should stick with this because Abraham Lincoln was young when he was in Illinois.
Uh-huh.
He didn't necessarily have the beard. So I kind of like that he doesn't have the beard.
Yeah.
I do too. No, I think it's a great idea. I just wonder who was ultimately responsible for that.
That was in her proposal. It's considered, an iconic image of Abraham Lincoln. So
Okay.
that's how she chose to do it. But no, it never, it was never a problem with the residents on the commission that he didn't have a beard. And like I said, I've looked at it thousands of times, and it never said, oh, well, why doesn't he have a beard? But then somebody mentioned, oh, well, he was young, so maybe he shouldn't have a beard. So.
Yeah, very good. We answered that very well. We're talking to our friends about the America's 250 DeKalb Committee. Now, some of the things you mentioned, the other things going on, the 250 trees that DeKalb Township is planning. DeKalb Rotary Club intends to hold a bike decorating contest in May. DeKalb County government plans to host a 250th anniversary ceremony on July 8th in front of the courthouse in Sycamore.
Yes.
And the city's getting in on the festivities with some additional initiatives of its own, including another public arts project. So, Scott, we're recording this on the middle of February. This won't air until like the beginning of March. What's coming up in March, April, May that we can look at?
Well, stuff's already underway. The library has 6 months of programming done. You can pick up a pamphlet here. They're doing a great series on kind of...
Jack Benny is
Yes,
from
exactly.
Waukegan.
I didn't know he was from Waukegan, and then they did one on...
Burleis, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
he was from Newton, Illinois. So
Yeah.
I'm learning through this, and so they have 6 months of programming. They've had an exhibit that's already gone and been replaced with another one. But as much as this is about the city doing art projects, this is as much about just other people in the community supporting each other as they do America 250 things. It's not a city thing. It's a DeKalb community thing. I emphasized that at our last meeting. Like, this is not the city of DeKalb's thing. We set up the webpage to help other people promote stuff. We got stuff going on, but that was the meeting, going back to the September 11th meeting. It was by like, how can we help you, like, do stuff to celebrate America 250? So all those things you read there are not city things.
Okay.
There are other people in the community picking up, they may have done it, without it, but, picking up the flag and doing it themselves. Like, everybody's incredibly excited about the 250 trees by
Yeah.
DeKalb Township. And,
Now, Elisa, as you do Arctics this year, are you focusing on Americana stuff? Obviously, you're going to do the thing for the walkway, but this year, do you get all patriotic and start doing all Americana stuff, or what do you do?
Yeah. No, not really.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
how about T.D. Ryan dressed as Yankee Doodle?
Yeah, we could
Did you do
that.
portraits?
Let's pull that off.
One that was announced just another art gallery in downtown DeKalb, Jubilee, is the month of July, is going to do America the Beautiful art exhibit, including an artist reception, I believe on July 2nd.
Okay.
And so,
He's writing without notes. Very good.
yeah, so Elisa and Chrissy from Jubilee are very close. They work together. But that's just another example of, she went to her first America 250 DeKalb meeting last week, and she said, all right, I'm in. And she planned art exhibit. That's what it's all about, just like
Right.
supporting each other,
Yeah.
encouraging each other.
Well, let's go back to September of last year when you guys were, I'm assuming you guys were behind the DeKalb artists plug in their creativity with the utility Buer murals that were painted. Now, were you offered a chance to do that? Or?
Well, it's a call to art where they give a chance for anyone who wants to apply.
Oh, yeah, this guy was just talking about. Okay.
Right. And so when they did that, you just apply and see what happens, and maybe you'll get chosen. And so one of them was, so I was happy about that.
Yeah, so tell us what.
What is the name of it?
Yeah.
Hometown.
Hometown. And so it's right next to Gordon Hardware.
Okay.
There's a utility box, and we took one of her paintings and took a digital image of that and blew it up into a vinyl wrap. And now instead of seeing that one was in bad shape, they cleaned it up a little bit. And so now it's a little pop-up mural instead of what was, a grungy brown utility box.
Yeah. So much like we see these cars wrapped into the same type of wrap.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something.
Very cool.
Barnes travels a lot for work, so he went to Bozeman and other cities that are doing it. He came back and he said, all right, we're going to do that.
I love it. All right, a little DeKalb trivia for you guys. When was DeKalb founded? I didn't know it was lost. That's the old joke. Yeah.
1856.
Oh, he nailed it. All right. When DeKalb became a city, DeKalb was first incorporated as a village in what year? Oh, you just said it. 1850. Did not become a city until when?
Oh, when did it get upgraded to a
Yeah.
city?
Lisa, chance to steal.
1865.
About 1877. You're right there. So, all right. So you both failed miserably on that one. But Scott, you already mentioned the other art studio in downtown DeKalb. Lisa, when you opened yours back, but just about a year ago, right? I didn't realize I read this that you were in the top 10 most collected artists domestically and internationally. That's pretty impressive, needless to say. I mean, that's amazing, actually. Tell us about that. How much art you got flowing out the door at your place?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where art is, great one. It's just up and down, so you never know. But it's
What's the old line? I don't know art, but I know what I like. So a lot of people aren't exactly.
well, and that's how people should collect art is what they like.
Oh, so you agree with that line? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I'm on a internet site that sells artwork, and they've sold in the last 4 years over 200 paintings around the world.
Yeah.
So that helps establish where I can keep my gallery open. And
Now, this is an odd question. I'm known for that, too, because I see here you work with the Singularette Gallery in Paris, France. Do you
That's-
find Europeans look at art differently than, say, we Americans look at it? I know it's a real broad question, but I mean, would you paint a painter differently if it's going to go in Europe
I
as
think
opposed to?
that they appreciate art a little more widely
Okay.
in Europe versus here, but I think it's growing.
And now you're considered an impressionist here, what I was just reading, that impressionist, German expressionist, and finally a cubist. I know Scott went through his Rubik cubist period there for a while, but tell us about what is the difference between a German impressionist and a cubist?
Well, Picasso, he's a cubist.
That's the only Cubo
yeah,
all of
well,
us know.
so-
Yes, okay.
So he,
All right, so we're learning something. Good. All right.
I didn't know it was a thing.
what, cubism?
No idea.
Okay, you mean facetious?
No,
Really? Yeah.
absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm learning a lot.
So you did that for a while, but then what made you move on then to the? You were an expressionist for me. What's an expressionist then?
It's where it's more like
From in your heart to.
it's just it's hard to
Abstract, is that
explain.
the right
It's not abstract. It's more in your face, I guess, or more. I don't know.
Okay, well that's it's hard to verbalize that. I know that.
Well, I'm more of a visual.
But you're described here as taking still lifes, such as, and then animate them through bold and unconventional colors. Now, I've seen you have a lot of like plants and things. Actually, I have one of my favorite pictures of yours here. It's a little town village there.
Yeah.
But tell us about that, how you can take a simple thing and enhance it that way.
Well, it's something that I love odd little quirky. I don't like perfect things. I mean, I like to draw and paint things that aren't quite, so that you kind of have to look at them and revisit them to kind of figure them out. I think when there's something.
Yeah, I was watching a thing on an artist, and he was just painting just a still portrait, and he said it was too exact. The person evaluated said it was too exact. So.
Yeah. Well, it's like a photograph, and your brain sees things how they are, and so a photograph you don't have to really look at. When you look at it, exactly what you're seeing. When you're looking at something that's just slightly off, and it makes you want to continue to look at it.
Okay.
Or figure it out, So
And when it comes to marketing your paintings, do you really market them, or you just put it out there, or how did you find out people were liking what you were doing?
you have to be out there. You have to continually apply for shows, be in shows. You have to, apply for plugs and do things to get yourself out there and to donate possibly to events and stuff and just get your name out there and your work seen over and over again. It takes sometimes.
And you support struggling artists yourself as well, because I imagine because you know where they're at and what they're going through and how you can help them.
Sure, if they ever want to find out what I know, I'm absolutely available to talk to.
Okay, good, because I want to talk to you guys about your little group there that I see you're getting organized again. But here it is. The art gallery helps restore DeKalb Area Art Council. Great picture of you guys there from the Jubilee. And who are the other members of the group? Can you guys tell us offhand who else is there?
Christy, she's from Jubilee.
Art Jubilee, okay, in downtown DeKalb, right?
Right. And then there's Brad Hoy.
Oh, Brad, well, Brad's everywhere. We were talking about him the other day.
Yes.
It's like Brad just shows up at places.
And then Alex Nerad.
Alex from the Egyptian, okay.
And he was the last president of the DeKalb Area Arts Council. And then Charlie is another talented local artist right here in DeKalb. He's a big name in Chicago. So he's in as well. This one is not a city thing. I learned from our first meeting, it's like, so there's the state art councils, and then underneath that are regional art councils.
Okay.
And so the DeKalb Area Arts Council existed. COVID kind of put it into dormancy. And,
COVID did, okay.
Chrissy from Jubilee decided that kind of after she opened her shop in DeKalb, she researched it, said, oh, there used to be. She's kind of reinvigorating it. Alex is there. He's got all the knowledge. So it's really in the very early stages. There's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to happen on this.
Can we give her a shout out at the Jubilee? I mean, can we direct people there to?
Sure.
I mean,
Got a big, beautiful orange awning. She's in the between First and Second Street. Big, beautiful orange.
And what are we seeing in there? Are we seeing supplies or
No,
art
well,
itself?
I think she has some supplies, but she features local artists.
Yeah, that's the neat part. Yeah.
Yeah, that's she really supports a lot of artists in not only supplying like studio spaces, but also selling their work and having shows for them and things like that.
Yeah, so often we don't appreciate things till they go away, and that almost went away, didn't it? So thank God she was able.
Right.
And I think if people in DeKalb realize, don't let this go away, right?
Right. And she has classes there all the time, and people are always looking for fun and new things to do. They should really consider looking at her Facebook or I think she has a website, and signing up for fun classes that she has. So that's a way to support.
Yeah, we for my birthday a few years back, we did over across from Ski's Pizza. I don't know if you know that there's a little art studio there, but for my birthday, we all painted. About 20 of us painted, and I wasn't too excited, to be honest with you. But then once you start painting, it was
fun.
It was fun. And I created a little Indiana Jones thing. We were supposed to paint trees on a mountain, and I created a little Indiana Jones being chased by a bear. But that creativity really does take over, doesn't it? When you start doing that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I was actually quite pleased with what I came up with. But that's great that Chrissy's going to be able to stay open there at the Jubilee. And then tell us about you now. When you decide to open another art gallery in downtown DeKalb, were you reluctant, or were you saying, hey, let's use the synergy of the two stores to even bring more art to downtown DeKalb?
Yeah, I think it really makes people want to come into downtown, and when they have multiple areas, not only just art, but there's, like found that has really interesting things and Cracker Jacks.
Cracker Jack, sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are happening downtown. A lot of new restaurants, and a lot of fun things that are happening during the year that the merchants are trying to get people to come down and have dinner and then, hang out or whatever. So
Sure, yeah. And I see also included was from a group from Northern Illinois University and just local citizens as well. But, we start tapping into NIU and get all the creative kids there as well. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on.
So if we want to be part of this group, how do we do that, Scott? Can we?
Well, it's way too early.
Is it too early? Okay.
Yeah, it's way too early. All we've held is 2 meetings just to say, what was this?
like, do we want to do this?
And, there'll be a whole nother period, but right now they're just getting the paperwork in line. We have no idea who's going to be members and
Okay.
boards. Yeah, we've only had 2 meetings, and like I said, it's not a city thing; it's a community thing. I'm just there to see what I can do to help as the city, but it's going to be all kind of community oriented. But yeah, it's really in the early stages. So.
And as far as the DeKalb 250 goes, you only have a year to do all this stuff, obviously. So is everything locked in? That's going to be locked in, or are you going to have a little flexibility here near
Very
the end of the year?
And I'm glad you brought. I totally forgot all the fundamentals of this. So there's a website. The website is onedekalb.org.
Okay.
ONEDEKALB.org. DEKALB.org, onedekalb.org. Go there, and we'll have an ever-expanding list of events. There's already a bunch of stuff out there. If you want to get involved in the initiative, there's a contact form at the bottom. Like I mentioned, reconnecting with the Declaration of Independence is a big part of this. So there's a big essay on there, kind of our vision statement, exploring what the significance of the Declaration of Independence, how people like Abraham Lincoln used it to get the country back on the right course, and then what work still needs to be done. So if you're interested in exploring the document itself, you can read that. We're going to put photos of all the things happening. So yeah, it's
Great.
But yeah, that's kind of your one-stop shop, onedekalb.org.
onedekalb.org. Okay.
Yeah, there's Facebook pages and YouTube page. And
Great. And Elisa, tell us about Artifacts. Now, again, you're coming up on your anniversary. Happy anniversary early. And
Thank you.
what do you got going on? Do you have different stuff going on?
Well, we'll be having an open studio March 21st, which is a Saturday from 6 to 10.
Okay.
And
So open studio, just show up with your brush? What?
show up and come have a glass of wine or
Well, I can do that part.
cheese.
It's the other part that I'm worried about. And then what about the project itself there with the walkway? Can we watch you do that? Are you going to be doing it in the dark of night, or when can we watch you actually create this?
No, I'm doing a lot of the sketching of it and thinking of it, and I'm having a metalsmith that is going to be creating the pieces. So he will be working on those.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
putting them up, how will that
Yeah.
look like? Can we see
Yeah.
that being done?
Well,
there's not much. They'll be done. At
Yeah.
that point, it's just a part of stringing the string and hanging them.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of, there's not. But the mural on Lincoln Highway, that'll take about a week. And
Oh, that'll be neat to
that's
watch that.
at 7th Street and Lincoln Highway. She'll be up there spray painting and everybody.
So nothing will be hanging off on this one that can fall down, right?
Nope,
Like the
it's
other.
right on the building. So.
Oh, very good. And well, that's going to look great, too, I tell you. Well, I want to thank you guys both for what you do for our community. It's fantastic. I think it's we're all excited about the celebration. And Artifacts, if we want to learn more about that, how can we do that?
well, you can go on to my website, boughnerart.com, or Facebook Artifacts Studio, and you can stop by. I'm usually there. I know on the door it's like by chance or by appointment, but I'm usually there Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 11 to 4.
Okay.
And then open randomly, by chance.
All right, very good. And again, we want to welcome our friends from the Junction Eating Place that have been our new sponsor. I want to thank them so much for joining us here. And Takaki's To Go, again, not only your regular stuff that you can get for food for your parties and get-togethers, but also a whole Greek menu as well. So we'll tell you about that as we go along. I want to end with this. First of all, thanking you both for what you do and joining us here today. But Scott, you're quoted here at the end where you say, quote, "We try to keep the Declaration of Independence at the heart of everything we do." And I think that's really all of us Americans should do that. But I think it's great that you're staying with that, right? Because that's what's most important, right?
Yeah, that was the city manager, Bill Nicklaus, and Mayor Barnes. Like, that was, we're going to keep this and let's remind, I think we all agree with the ideals of the Declaration of Independence and its promise that everyone is equal. And we can just remember we all have the same mission. It's a great chance to
Connect.
unite and, connect and unite.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about that somebody that wrote a book called The Greatest Sentence in the World, and it was that first sentence of the Declaration of Independence. I mean, hard to come up with a better sentence than that one, I'll tell you. Well, thank you guys both so much for stopping by. Again, thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Michael Davis, my nephew, for getting us on the air. We appreciate that so much. And DeKalb will look more beautiful with you two being behind us. So thank you again for that. We appreciate it. And that's C.D. Ryan Unleashed, podcast number 44.